Thank you for advancing with me today. Thank you for reading with me. We're reading A View from the Roof, Lessons for Life and Business by Calvin Mackey, PhD. As a nation, we've taken our freedoms, our liberties, and our abundance of educational and economic opportunities for granted. In doing so, we have forgotten and paid ill tribute to the past. There was a time in America not long ago when the opportunities we enjoy today were considered luxuries of the upper classes and closed off entirely to other people because of the color of their skin. During and immediately after World War I, many Southern blacks migrated to the northern United States seeking to escape the impoverishment of the rural South. With Southern immigration suspended due to the war, Northern companies needed and heavily recruited unskilled Southern labor. Most Southern blacks were sharecroppers who planted and picked cotton, one of the most labor-intensive field crops ever known to man. Southern blacks continued migrating north as economic and living conditions worsened. But many decided to remain close to home and live under the vicious segregation laws of Jim Crow, which were backed up by a reign of terror that offered blacks substandard education and primitive living conditions. Such harsh conditions continued through World War II and into the late 40s. Many black servicemen who fought for the freedom of other nations overseas returned home and intensified their challenge to the virtual servitude and segregation statutes imposed by the Jim Crow laws. By any standards in the history of the world, and definitely the history of the United States, the basic tenets of the Jim Crow South were inhumane. To this day, they remain a permanent stain on the fabric of America. People such as my father, who were born and lived before the civil rights era, will never forget the pain, suffering, and second-class treatment they received in a free country. Men were unable to live as men, forced to attend substandard schools with secondhand books, denied the right to vote, subject to taxation without representation, and unfairly accused or wrongly punished for crimes they didn't commit. It was even considered a norm in society to address a black man as a boy. How do you gain a healthy self-esteem and believe that the promise of America is also for you when you're not allowed the basic dignity of developing as a human being? How does a flower grow through the concrete created to stunt its growth and destroy its seeds? W.E.B. DuBois answered these rhetorical questions when he said, "There is in this world no such force as the force of a man determined to rise. The human soul cannot be permanently chained." If I would say my biggest takeaway from this excerpt is there is in this world no such force as the force of a man determined to rise. The human soul cannot be permanently chained. Thank you for reading with me. Thank you for advancing with me, and I look forward to reading with you in the future. Again, we're reading A View from the Roof, Lessons for Life and Business by Calvin Mackey, PhD. You guys go get the book and let me know what you think. And, hey, and bring your books. I'm sure I have it in my library. Look forward to reading with you soon.